What's going on, everybody? We're glad that y'all are back for another video. Today's lesson is going to be about Isaiah 11, chapter 11, proving that black people scattered all around the world are indeed the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. So now, what we're going to do is read Isaiah 11:11, follow along, and you're going to see without a shadow of a doubt this information is indeed true that I'm telling you. Alright, so Isaiah 11, you'll never hear the churches talk about this chapter because, it doesn't fit the church narrative, the Christianity narrative of the stuff that they teach. So you will never hear them talk about this chapter verse right here. This is actually, when I first learned this truth, I had never heard this verse before in my life. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get into the deep parts that the church won't get into to teach the truth. So let's go. Alright, so verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. So the first time is, that's what we have to figure out. When was the first time he did this? Most people already know this, but to prove this, we will go to another future prophecy and see what it's talking about. This is Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 7 through 8. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that they shall no more say. So they won't talk about this again. The Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. So they're not going to be talking about the land, God bringing us out of the land of Egypt. Now, that answers our question also. That was the first time God recovered the remnant of his people when he brought them out of the land of Egypt. So now we're going to the second time. Verse 8, but the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and all countries whither I have driven them. They shall dwell in their own land. So basically, with this hasn't happened yet. So we know this hasn't happened yet. And this is what we're waiting on to happen. Which will be happening soon. And you pay attention to what's going on in the earth, you definitely agree with that. So the first time was in Egypt when he brought us out of Egypt. And the second time will be when he brings us from all the countries in the world that we are scattered in. And since we are scattered through all the countries that we are, scattered in the land of our captivity, that is where he will bring us back from, and that will be the second time. So now, when we go back to Isaiah 11, it says, we'll start again. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time. So we know the first time was Egypt. Now the second time is when he regathers us all together again, the Israelites. So God will bring us back from all countries. He will gather us from all countries and gather all of the Israelites together. That has never happened. You can check all world history. There has been remnants of certain tribes that was able to come back to the land of Israel, but the whole total Israel as a whole, the group, they have not. That has not happened yet. So that's what we're waiting on. Now it says, we shall be left from Assyria, from Egypt, from Pathros, Cush, from Elam, Dinar, Hamath, and all the islands of the sea. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to find out if there are black people that were led away captive in these lands, and if so, that they should still be in these areas, because in the last days, God will regather his people from these areas. That's what it's saying. So, the first place, now what we're going to do is, throughout these lessons, we're going to break down where these places are. But today we're going to stick with Elam. Right? So, we're we're going to go to that, and let's see what we got. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that Christ said the same thing. Now let's see. Let's go back. We went over this before, but let's hit it real quick. Luke 21:24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So Christ is saying that the real Israelites will be led away captive into all nations. And we know that the people who claim to be those people have not been led away captive into all nations. We have been led away captive into all nations. Afro-Americans, Afro-Caribbean, Afro-Iranians, Afro-Iraqis. See what I'm saying? So this fits us. And this is Christ. Because a lot of people go say, oh, the Old Testament, that's old. But Christ is saying the same thing that the prophet said. So, and he said this will be until the times of the Gentiles fulfilled. There's still Gentile rulership now. So this is still the case. Our people are still in the land of their captivity until this very day. So now, like I said, we're focusing on, in Isaiah 11, we're focusing on Elam. So let's go to that. So Elam, the biblical land. Elam is an ancient civilization, right? It's in the modern day Iran. So, and one part of that is Khuzestan. So that's one area where the modern day Elam is at. Khuzestan. So now we're going to see. Okay, let's see if we see any Afro people there. They call them Afro such and such. Let's see if we find any of those people in those areas that were led away captive into that area. This is Wikipedia. Next site. Also, this is not just on Wikipedia. Everybody knows this. You can look it up yourself. All right. So this is the Afro-Iranians. Afro-Iranians. Most Afro-Iranians, I'm starting here, are concentrated in the coastal provinces of the Persian Gulf, such as this place, this place, this place, and this place. Who's this? You sure? Something like that. So let's see if we can find. Now, what we did when we said when we were looking at Elam, which was in Isaiah 11. Don't forget now. This is one place that God says He would gather His people. When I went to that, it showed that Elam was Khuzestan. Look at that. So you see, these people are in this area, in this place right here. There's our people in there. Alright? So now we just proved that. Now let's get another place. Bushehr. Now this is from a website that I got, and also you can look this up yourself. Nuclear targets is the Bushehr nuclear reactor, located in the heart of ancient Elam. Right? So we know that this right here is in ancient Elam. Right? Now let's see. Are there Afro-Iranians there? Yes, there is. So God is going to gather His people from these places. Right? Now let's check out some cool content from this content curator here. She has good content, and she has a lot of content about our people, in different parts of the world. So let's just look at some cool things, information that she found. Really quick.
Many Afro-Iranians themselves are unaware of the full extent of their African origins, believing that their dark complexion is due to the hot climate on the southern coast. Afro-Iranians are often...
Well, see that? They don't even, it says they don't even know their full heritage. They don't know their actual history. Doesn't that sound like us here in America? I think so. And that is prophesied. We went over this before. Jeremiah 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. Now it says, even thyself shall discontinue from thine heritage. Right? We also go here. Isaiah 1:3. The ox knows his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel does not know. My people do not consider. So we don't even consider that we're the Israelites. We don't know who we are. We're just walking around lost in the sauce. But that's all changing now. I think that God is putting His Spirit out and teaching us the truth that people have hidden from us, and these different nations have hidden. Now, and these nations have done this on purpose. It's not a coincidence that all of us, here, these different countries, some of us know, but most of us don't know because they don't teach us that. They just teach us as a Gentile. And look at where that has gotten us. So they do that on purpose. They prophesied that they also would do such things. Psalm 83, keep not thou silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. They that hate thee have lifted up their head. So these are people that hate God. So somebody that would not tell God's people who they really who they are, and that they should serve their God, and people that's hiding that from us, those people hate God. They hate us. They also hate God. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. So this is a crafty thing they have did. And consulted against thy hidden ones. So because we are hidden ones. The whole world, well, like I said, the elites know, the higher ups know, but the common everyday Joe, they have no idea who we are. They just think we some random, African. That's all they think, we're Africans and slaves. Verse 4. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. That's what they did. They have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. You can read this chapter yourselves. These are all the different nations that have done this. And so we'll go over that, God willing, soon. Now, let's go back to the video. And let's start.
Refers to as the blacks of the South. At the beginning of Nowruz, Persian New Year, it is traditional to see people dressed as the Iranian folkloric character Haji Firuz. He is usually depicted as being clothed in red, and his face is completely black. Reasons for his black skin vary. Some say he is of enslaved African descent. Others say his face is covered.
So that shows you also these people came from slavery to this land. They didn't just come over here. So, oh yeah, let's go to Iran. Khuzestan. They came as slaves.
But instead, he is a comical character known for singing songs and entertaining people, although not necessarily an outcome.
Same thing we're known for here in America.
Right, caricature of a black person. Haji Firuz is a controversial figure among those who take umbrage at the symbolic racism of dressing in blackface. Some Afro...
Alright. So you see that's somehow some of the now let's go back just a little bit. I want you guys to hear that.
The black person. Haji Firuz is a controversial figure.
This is a controversial figure. They do this every year. As a mockery.
Among those who take umbrage at the symbolic racism of dressing in blackface.
So that's mockery, right? And that's prophesied. I'm glad that they do that. That's a good. It's a good reason. I'm happy that they do things like that. That they just prove even more who we are. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37. You will become an object of horror, ridicule, and mockery among all the nations to which the Lord sent you. And if that ain't that, I don't know what is. Right? Now, we're going to go ahead and finish up this video and give a little bit of history.
Living in some of the poorest provinces around.
Living in some of the most poorest provinces in Iran. Now, doesn't that not sound like us? Yeah, because we're under the curses. Wherever we go, we're under the curses. That's how you know who we are. Those curses follow us, just like God said they would, because we are not following Him and keeping His commandments, coming back to Him. They don't have the same opportunities. We went over that. Let's keep that. Let's get that for you guys. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. Verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Why? He's going to tell you why. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded. So guess what's going to happen? Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. That is how you know who we are. And with that, guys, I'll let you guys get out of here. Stay tuned for the next prophecies of Isaiah 11, the next place.